that. Ow. Fighting people. Hi, buddy. Thanks. I need to do like an automated first message. No idea if people can hear me also, because my camera, my Shocks headphones were on low battery, so I have them charging. So I'm trying to use the battery on this camera here, pointing down. Plan for today is, yeah, you're a pain in the butt, to take, let's get rid of the eyes. Let's get rid of these eyes. That's garbage. I have a monster clay copy. No, that's, you're not. Nope. No, tabletop's not for you. Monster clay copy of my goblin head candle, which is just slightly over 12 ounces. So plan is to dissect this piece and sculpt a cat out of it, and use all the material in it so I have the same weight. That's actually what I did with this Stack of Books candle. It is same amount of clay as I used on this guy. Let's see here. Where can we put this? I'm gonna have to kick your ass out of my lap, buddy. What else? Made this last week. Actually, when did I do that? Saturday morning when I was on the couch with the dogs, and not this guy. This clay, not counting the bottom, equals, thanks, equals 2 ounces, which is what I'm doing my wax melts at. I don't know if those are considered large wax melts, but I think it makes an interesting size figure. And it also fits into the ceramic base of a wax melt. So this is 2 ounces. And then the book you see down here is also 2 ounces of clay. So it'll be a 2 ounce wax melt as well. So this will be a wax melt. The zombie head is going to be a wax melt. This guy's actually the same amount of clay. I'm going to do a new mold with this guy for my little blob guy. So yeah, he's also 2 ounces. So then I brought this. I still have to finish this. I have to work a little bit more on the torso. I gotta do detail on the hands, detail on the feet, and still gotta work on the face. I think I actually need to fix the face by adding a little bit to the forehead. So right now this leaning out forward, though, it looks okay. I think it looks weird because I have it looking up. So we're going to sculpt the cat on that. Did I explain why I had this backing too on the wax melts? And on the candle I do it too. When I'm pouring the wax, since I'm making all my own molds, this gives me inside the mold like an overflow field, so I can tell when I'm about to hit this to stop pouring. And then if I go over it into this field inside the mold, where's the... I'm not going to go grab a mold, but anyway. So that's why. It's just like a little overflow, help me manage my pour, since it's all new to me. So there's that. Take a knife. Let's see here. There's tools. So this cat pose is going to be kind of just a cat sitting on its butt, not laying down. It's going to be sitting down. Sorry, get rid of that. That wasn't comfortable. I don't think I have a figure kind of laying around in that design, but it's just going to be sitting down, tail wrapped around his body. So I think first thing I need to do is, since I'm just cannibalizing this, I'm going to uh-oh, got liquid in that. I think I'm going to try and get my shocks back in a moment too. They've been charging for like 10 minutes or so, so they should have a little bit of juice. So, and why am I doing it this way? I don't know. I did think it would be, I thought it would be a good way for me to keep all my candles the same sizes by kind of pouring clay into the mold for the goblin head and then just using that clay. It's the same thing I did for the book and the head. I poured it into the gelatinous cube mold, and I then just used that clay to sculpt something else and made sure I used all the clay. So let's see here. Also going to be doing this as a long-haired cat. Should I share this on other social media groups, pages? Let me do that. Where's my phone at anyhow? Actually, I don't think playing music is going to work with the with me using the microphone on the header there. Let's see what kind of power we got on this now. Okay. It says battery high. Device is connected. So let's fart around here and see what we get. I can't hear myself, so I don't know if the audio is working here or not. Monitor off. Close. We're going to try and turn off one microphone. Mute. There. I should just have my Shocks headphones working. It does show green, so it's one of the reasons I like to make sure I have the monitoring turned on. Monitor and output. All right, I do hear myself. Okay. And then the shocks actually let me listen to some tunes because it does not pick up the music. It just picks up stuff right here in the microphone. It's a very good directional mic. So let's put that. There we go. Ugh. Oh, and I should, guess, share this to socials. And then we'll get back to this thing. Back to me destroying this. We had a couple of power outages the last 2 days, so I'm not even quite sure if my live will stay going live. They happened like at 9 o'clock both nights. They were only for, I guess one yesterday was 30 minutes. It was out when I got home from my game of Zombicide. Nothing's happening. Nope, it's not what I wanted to do. What the heck? All right, come on. Fates. Post. Don't know if it'll drive anything. But we'll see. It's probably been like 3 to 4 weeks since I've done a live. What are you barking at, Annabelle? Boop. Unhappy about something. Okie dokie. Let's see. Let's put that there. All right, so should I move that farther over? There we go. Down more. There we go. I'm going to keep all the clay I'm carving off of this. Pile right here because it's all going to be what I'm going to use to make the cap. All right, so now I'm going to take that chunk out. I'm going to scream something here. Hold on. Hey, Casper? Casper? Did you see the pizza and chicken? Okay. All right, there we go. You only heard part of that probably. Ugh. All right. I've never really done something like this. I thought I would try it, see what the hell happens. So let's see here. I'm gonna just, this is also Monster Clay Soft, so it's really, if I was using Monster Clay Hard, I would not be mucking around the way I am. I wouldn't be doing the experiment like this. But since this is Monster Clay Soft, I can push it around really easily. See if anybody shows up. Just moves that chunk of clay back into the spine here. I'm also going to be making this a long-haired cat, so even this shape is going to get a lot of material added into it to make the long, fluffy fur. I have no idea if I mean, technically when people are sculpting, it's just a game of subtraction. I'm more model making, although the term sculpting is changed over time. Modeling would be adding and subtracting material. Sculpting is supposed to be, or was, subtraction. So people that work with chainsaws, technically sculptors. I think that's what a lot of them call themselves because that's what they are. They are 100% just taken away. If something happens, they have to deal with over removal. I don't know what the dogs are going crazy about. All right, so I think I could probably take a little bit of this off for the cat back. The back of the cat. His butt's going to be right here. Not sure if you can see my vision here. Still need to, I'm going to do material now, rough out material for a tail. Then I'm going to rough out material for the face. And this is going to be a long-haired cat, so I'm going to do big poofy tail. And I'm still debating if I'm going to do a slightly cartoony cat or if I do go the more realistic route. Just going to hold this in my hand for a moment. Also, it's 8 o'clock. I don't know how long I would be doing live because I got a crappy night's sleep last night. But I really wanted to try and get this model started. So, and the zombie head sculpt was like a really quick sculpt. I was just wanted to do something while I was relaxing on the couch. I don't know what I did with my music. Just noticed it's gone. Let's see what happens here. Concurrent viewer. Hello, viewer. Welcome to my riveting content. All right, yeah. So this is just going to be a really quick rough out for long hair tail. And we're going to kind of make it coming around the side of the body here. Still got to make all the fluff on the rest of this body. But that'll work. Trying to see how much clay I'm going to have to play with. Anybody concurrent viewer? All right. Same thing, long-haired kitty. So I'm gonna rough out a blob of clay to be a head for a long-haired kitty. Also, this is gonna be a candle. So there'll be a wick coming out of the head. All right, let's see here. I know with Monster Clay Soft being my least favorite of the Monster Clays, I suppose it's good that I'm using it on this. It's just you can just warm it up with your hand, and then you can start pushing it around. So cat face, floofy cat cheeks. Sheet. Let's see, what kind of eyes. Is this gonna be too big for an eye? If I'm doing this cartoony and guilty, I think I might go with eyes this size. I poured Monster Clay into this mold earlier, so I had that sitting around. I'm gonna try and just push clay into this mold to get some round pieces to use for eyes on here. Hey, if there is a concurrent viewer out there with a microphone that can, or I mean with a speaker, you hear me? Send a message in the chat so I know someone's out there. Game on. All right. So this is warmed up pretty good. And I'm just gonna push it into this mold. I don't remember. I think this is mold star. I don't really remember. This is just amazing putty. So it's this mold that I have sitting over here. This is just an amazing putty mold. So, hey, birch house. Is it birch house? Birch house. Birch house. Links for the follow, by the way. All right. So what was I doing? Oh, this was the clay I was pushing around for the cat head. Again, in my head, I already can see the cat coming out of this. This is his muzzle. Like right here. This is his muzzle. He's got a little nose here that'll go there. His eye sockets are going to be here and here, which I'm about to kind of push this other clay into. And since he's a long-haired cat, I'm making poofy long cheeks on him. So let's see. I think I'm just going to use this to push clay in here and make eye sockets. And then since these are pretty big, I might need to downsize. Let's make another pair of those with these two. Again, this is an amazing putty. It's just a two-part putty. You get in a couple of plastic containers. I think I just get this off Amazon. It's great for making simple molds. I have a ton of bark molds that I use. I'll mix this. You probably have about 60 seconds. And then I'll push this onto a tree, or I'll push it onto a driveway, or I'll push it onto a sidewalk, or a brick, anything with a texture. I'll use this to make a lot of texture molds. Thanks. I got a bunch of other old models back here. This guy really needs to get finished. I would like to finish him. I don't know if I'll get a return on investment with him, but we'll see. All right. While I've been chit-chatting and talking, I've been moving this around in my fingers like this just to make it warm so I can push it into there. Like that. And these are, I used glass cabochons to make all of these different little round molds. I use glass cabs like you see here in a lot of my sculptures, but when I'm doing candles, I want to be able to sculpt a little bit of an eye into some of the models. So that's how I get those. Let's see how this is going to look. Oh, yeah, that's better. These are just too big. If I was doing Build a Cat, that'd be great. If anybody understands the Build a Cat reference. All right, cool. We're going to just tap those in place. And let's see here. Do a quick mouth. I don't see the tool I want. Oh, hopefully this is it. And it's not lost. Yay, it's it. A little bit of mouth. Not really fantastic at the old YouTube marketing. So there we go. For a little nose material. I don't have any cat references in front of me. Let's, I'm going to build up the skull behind those eyes there. Again, just mixing clay. Warming it up so I can push it around a little easier. Just like that. Put some material over here now like that. That should be enough. Sometimes I can be particular and measure-ish things out. Other times wing it, it's fine. All right, smooth this out. We're gonna that. Can already see I like that side better than that side. So we're gonna add these things. These are the eyes I had measured out. Oh, wow. This has been sitting in this a while. This is to show you the difference between Monster Clay hard and Monster Clay soft. I just tried to mix this in with the soft thinking it was soft. It didn't budge. So let me put this in here just so you can kind of see. So here's that round, here's that round. Now this I can take between my two fingers and do that. This, I'm really squeezing it, and I flattened it a little bit. I do prefer Monster Clay hard for a lot of models, because if you have a tendency of smacking into things like that, Monster Clay hard would not have that little dent that I just did. It really beat the hell out of it to get that dent in there. Anyway, Monster Clay hard. It does, however, work the same way if you work with it or if you warm it up. Like what I often do when I'm sculpting with it is I have a coffee cup around here. I will mix, I'll drop chunks of Monster Clay into the coffee cup and I'll put it in the microwave and soften it up. And then it'll go back to the firmness eventually. Alright, so let's see if we can match. Do 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 do. That's a little closer. Eventually it'll go there. Where's my other light? Let's turn that one on. So eventually we'll get that head attached onto there. I think that'll be a pretty good size candle. I think so. I like so. And we need to add some mass to the back of the head. If you're still out there listening, Birch House, are you got enough inventory for Viking Fest? Is this the first time you've done it? We, if anybody else eventually listens to this, or if concurrent viewer number 2 is listening, Birch House Workshop is going to be a fellow vendor at the Ohio Viking Festival at the Lake County Fairgrounds on June 20th, 21st, and 22nd. And if somebody's watching this, who knows when, 2025. This is their first year at the Lake County Fairgrounds. They were at Trumbull County Fairgrounds for, I think, its entire run. Maybe the very first year. I don't know if I did the very first year or not. I might have. I've been doing the Viking Fest off and on because it always overlaps with Origins Game Fair. Not always, obviously. Very often it would coincide the same weekend as Origins Game Fair, so I wouldn't be able to do it. But I've taken an Origins break. Doom, 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 doom. All right, let's pop a couple of ears on this guy. I'm kind of really just trying to get this figure roughed out tonight. And then we'll go back over it and we'll do the eyelids and all that kind of stuff on there and more hair dimensioning and texturing. And eventually, let's see. Experiment. Let's see, where's the largest ball tool I have? Pupils. Ah, okay. I think I saw you talking about that and then doing a giveaway of some sort. Shields, Viking shields. Stuff clicks eventually. Going to be in one of the indoor buildings at the Lake County Fairgrounds. I'm really interested to see how the show does. I think I was there last year. I think 2023 I was at Origins. I think 2022 I was at Viking Festival. I think that was the year that we had really, really bad thunderstorms. Last year was just hot, really hot. Uncomfortably hot last year. I am trying to get to balls of clay about the same size. And I'm just going to shape a pair of ears real quick with this. Just push it down flat, pick it up, ear. Push it down flat, push it around, another ear. And I made these a little fat again because it's a long hair cat. So I'm going to be sculpting some extra hair around them, but there. See that? Sweet. So you said something about, I think I saw you comment, maybe in the vendor group for Viking about camping. I'm going to guess you're not a local Northeast Ohioan. I'm on the west side of Cleveland. It's only like a 40-minute drive for me. But I grew up out that way. I grew up like 10, 15 minutes away from Lake County Fairgrounds. All right, get to work. Thank you for the follow and the assist with trying to get some folks in here. So I'm just kind of looking at the head now. Okay, let's move this circle onto here. It's underneath this. So I'm just trying to see if this head's going to be a good size for it. And since I've done so much work on the head, I'm pretty sure I'll alter the body. This is still all of the clay I have to work with to get my 12-ounce candle sculpt. Huh. Ow. Got like a 50, what am I? I'm going to be 54 this year, right? Got a weird sit going on right here. Hell, internet. TMI. Man, I need water. All right. Well, I'm all right with what we got going on here. If he is looking a little cartoony right now, so I'm still gonna decide if I want to do cartoony or realistic. But definitely got my shape going on. Right about here is where I need to do the front legs. Maybe I'll get some material in place here for front legs and back legs now. I think I'm gonna go get a water too. I'm gonna hold these. Gonna warm these up in my hand while I walk. Do 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 do. I'll give you some music as I go. Ow, my knee. Copy. Oh, come on. Do, do. Just was listening to the song Reptile, so that's actually my head. Can you get copyrighted for doing a song? Do 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 do. Ooh, Peter Murphy, cut you up. Water. Do do do. Of this site. Oh, good Lord. Reading the internet these days is a horrible idea. Really horrible. There we go. Look for what seems out of place. All right. This isn't soft enough. So again, this is not, this model I'm doing now is a candle. So all the arms and legs and whatever, everything are going to be part of the block. So cuts you up. Whew. What? Can I do that? I don't think that's right. Sorry. Sorry, I'm interneting. Screw it. Let's just do this until 9-ish. So, another leg. I got a lot more material on that one. So I'm going to pinch that hole off there and then roll that out a little thinner. Do, 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 do. All right. That, I'm going to take this wad of clay, put it in here. Again, this is a long-haired cat. So, I am just placing material in place for fur placement. Long-haired fur. Trying to see if I... Oh, pardon me. I'm all right. We're all okay. We're fine here. Huh, that didn't work. Google Photos changed the way they display their scroll. So now it's a little more of a pain in the ass to scroll. I'm trying to find a picture of Oscar, who's our long-haired orange crazy cat. I don't know if I'm gonna have a photo of him right here or not. I have to take some new photos of the old man. Oop, that's not Oscar. That was Jen's grandkitty. We were cat sitting. Oop, there's an Oscar. Not his body though. So let's just do this. Hey, I closed a window. I don't see my chat. That's what I'm looking for. All right, let's see if I can find my message window. There it is. And now let's put that back there. That looks remarkably like I just did a Google for orange tabby or orange cat. So I am gonna just create a giant foofy foof of foof right here in his chest. And I'm gonna create another. We should probably attach this. I don't think I'm gonna change that much. So I think I'm just gonna attach that head. So let's see here. My free. Just stitch it in place back and forth like this. Eventually we'll add a little more fur here, and I think I'm gonna make his cheeks a little foofier. This is all just layout for the model. And then, all right, that's pretty good. I'm not horribly, I think we're going to put another big band of, I think I judged it pretty good. It might end up, my thought was eventually when I get near the end of the model, if I have clay left, I'll add material to this bottom. But I don't think I'm going to have to do that. If anything, I'm going to come close to needing to add a little bit of clay. Hopefully we don't have to do that though. Ah, close that. I think maybe I'll do another live tomorrow, or I don't know. I really do need to. I don't know if my camera's showing him, her, it. I need to finish this Fey. Originally it was going to be AK, but I decided I'm going to mold it. I can use it in cages, you know, because everything I do is always being tortured. Just about everything. All right, so I'm kind of just making what are those things from the Renaissance that, the little folded collar things that guys wore. I can't think of the name of them, but I'm doing the furry version of that for him. And again, I'm not looking for anything significant. I should say exact. How's that? How's that for another layer of foof going around him? Do. I think that's gonna work. I'll need to do a little extra there. I think I'm gonna put the back legs in place and then I can start adding fluff here. I think what's messing me up is I think this bottom one should be bigger and this should be shallower, but I don't know how to execute what my brain is fixing or seeing right now. Maybe add this to that. Add this to this. And then just simply do something like that. Maybe? And we'll add some more fluff back here eventually. All right, I'm gonna add the legs in because those are gonna be the next big blocks of clay used. And then also when I'm sculpting this one, I'm trying to think of it as a candle. So I don't want the undercuts I would normally do with silicone or with resin, with a silicone mold for resin. Like this guy's undercuts coming out of the mold, it's not a problem. Resin and a snap coming out of the mold. Not that thicknesses, but anyway. All right, let's make a couple of balls of clay out of this. Oop, I got rid of my message window again. Not that there will be any messages, but you never know. You never know. Do 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 do. Telling you, if you guys could hear the music I was listening to, you'd be jamming. So after I get this roughed out, uh, after I get the legs in place, I'm probably gonna just cut off end live at that point. Um, and then tomorrow I'll probably work a tool around the base of the model and get the clay attached to this little wooden tray. I think. We'll see. So I'm just trying to make a couple of balls of clay that I can turn into back legs. How's that? Are they close? What do you think? Top view. I think that's close enough for horseshoes and hand grenades. I'm just going to push these fly like that. Let's pop this thing off. Just put some this tail is going to end up being really just right up against this. Let's get a couple pieces to do some lower leg and foot here. So I'm just going to put a piece of clay, pointer finger, piece of clay right here. And then future Steve tomorrow we'll actually put some material in place for toes and all that crap, and we'll get fur put back in here, behind here, make that neck nice and foofy, and we'll work around here also. And then I have to decide how realistic I want to make this guy, or if I want to keep him looking like he is. It's a little cartoony. So just that little log of clay right there, kind of go like that. And then long hair is going to get covered off his stomach, so there's no need to. When I start adding layers of hair, it's going to hide a whole bunch of stuff, so I'm not kind of overly concerned about some of it. I made the foot kind of going up against there, so we'll slap that there. And then we'll and long tail, go like that. I'm gonna try and decide if I keep that like that, or if I end up pushing it like this. Analytical Steve sees that the data shows him that this is a much better idea, because silicone is not going to be, if I do it like this, when I pour the mold, you're going to have, you know, imagine a silicone mold all the way around us. So when he's upside down like that, this is all going to be solid wax, and that's going to be part of the mold. If I have that in like that, it's going to be a much more solid piece, less likely for a tip to break. The tip of that tail could snap when I'm putting it in boxes. Yeah, decision made. Great talk. All right, so really the clay I have left to work with to add all the different spots of fur, like we need to do fur here, you know, we want to add material there. I want to add material here, here, here. Gonna be a little bit of rough, come around his belly there. A little extra fur here. But, I mean, we got the basics. What do you think? How long have we been doing this? 1 hour, 7 minutes is what we got. Bunch of material in place to do the, and then don't forget, this is a candle. It's gonna be a candle sculpture. So, let me see. I got like these pins back here that really hurt. So, I think the wick will come out of the head right there. Should I, for my simulation purposes, where can you go? Totally still. I'm in rapture. Let's take this toothpick out of here. Let's see. This is stupid. What I'm doing is stupid. So, wick. Bing! Maybe over slightly more, a little bit more. Wick. You light your candle and your cat head melts. I know it's, oh, somebody heard me talking about a cat. Hi, bud. Say hi. Hi, buddy. I gotta go. I'm gonna stop what I'm doing. I said, ouch. This really hurt. Hi, buddy. Why are you so attention starved? Your human is here. Ow! You just bit me. Buddy. You can't. I'm in charge. I'm not in charge. Alright, cool. Alright, so here we are. This is basically what I wanted to do. I wanted to get the cat roughed out. Concept. I wanted to scratch this itch. So, fluffy legs, fluffy there. We'll add some more fur here. We'll texture all the blobs of clay afterwards. This is all the clay I have to use. So I get my 2-ounce candle. So I'll use it to fill here. But I think we're good. What do you think? Think we're good? Where's the stack of books? He goes with that stack of books. That's kind of cool. All right, I'm happy. Every once in a while. All right. Thanks for the watch, Birch House workshop. Again, he's a fellow Viking Fest vendor. Actually, I think he was a vendor. This year he's doing demos. That's what he said, right? I'm reading again. Fourth year, actually, not a vending this year. Yeah, he's running an interactive little educational experience about probably the Vikings. So, all right. All right, I appreciate it. Again, right there, Ko-Fi, buy me a coffee. I don't know. Isn't that what people say? You know, the interweb people, influencers, or people. You can always check out my Facebook where I got a bunch of photos and stuff I'm working on. You know, if I'm not doing these lives, like when I did this, I had a bunch of photos posted of it. So anyway, thanks again. Let's throw up my logo, and I'm gonna get out of here. There's a logo. Ready? Come on. There we go. Logo. Right there. All right. Everybody might be back tomorrow. Maybe we'll get some other folks to show up. All right. And don't forget, 2025 Ohio Viking Festival, June 20th. Uh-oh. Crazy cat wants to kill me. 21st, 22nd. Yeah. All right. Gonna go. Thanks again.